Hi, I'm Pamela Maddess, and I have been asked to speak about the roles of work that I have had in my life and how they relate to a ministry or a passion or purpose in my life. So many of you know that I have retired twice now, and the first time was with the Department of Corrections. But what I'd like to most speak about is my most recent purpose, which has been as a death care professional at New Tacoma Cemetery's funeral home and crematory. Many of you may know that I recently retired from there. So speaking about the requests that I'm trying to fulfill here, many of you may know that I've experienced a lot of loss. Most of us have, but mine was at an earlier age than many. So as a teenager, I lost my dad. And then when my mom was only 72, she passed away. And then my husband passed away at the age of 51. So a lot of loss, and at times that were very impressionable for me, and also times in the world of funeral planning and funeral homes where there weren't a lot of choices. You kind of did what they told you, or you had maybe one or two of three kinds of things that you had an option to do. And through my life experiences, and if we think that God has a plan for us, the plan that I have been living has been to kind of look at end-of-life planning as something that is not only inevitable, but something that you should embrace and take advantage of for decision-making while you can. So with that said, I have learned that people approach end-of-life planning through what your family traditions have been, what your peer group is doing, and then frankly, what you can afford. And so part of my role has always been not just to try to communicate well, but to really comprehend what those kinds of factors or influences are. So I have had just such wonderful opportunities to meet lovely people in the midst of some of the most difficult times of their life. Many of you have heard my presentation before, and I call it the last gift of love, because I truly believe that doing these kinds of plans and having these kind of discussions ahead of time really makes such a difference. And some of the examples of how that's really benefited me is I have had family members come in and say, I have to be buried facing east, so at the time of the rapture, I'm ready. And I would usually say, I can help you with that. And then I would have people say, well, you know, the Bible says ashes to ashes, and I would say, I can help you with the cremation plan. And others would say, you know, if being in a crypt was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. And I would say, and I can help you with that too. So part of my purpose has been to just really help people learn from my experience, having been a teenager when my dad died, having lost a husband when I was just far too too not ready, but thinking that I was very prepared and then having that plan fail. So I've learned how to try to anticipate things, and I have brought in my purpose to listening and trying to help people. Now, through COVID, we've had such a difficult time with that because so much now has been done over the phone, through email. And so that personal time, that opportunity to talk and share and support people who are grieving has been so much more difficult. When I did my own hospice work, I learned that having a funeral or a memorial service, however it's right for you, is like completing a relationship. And how many of us have gone to funerals and learned something about someone else, had the opportunity to say to yourself, maybe silently to the person who's now gone, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me. That opportunity is now gone through COVID. So finding creative ways to live out what is meant to be our spiritual practices, our core beliefs of doing good to others, supporting others at their difficult times. COVID has had an impact to us, and again, needing and requiring us to be more creative. So thank you very much for allowing me to share some thoughts. I will miss the work I did directly, but I am still available to help others through this difficult time when it happens to all of us. So thank you.